Humanoid robots are being mass-produced for cheaper than your average car, mind you, and I kind of want one. Meanwhile, psychiatrists and researchers are trying to understand this recent uptick in AI psychosis cases, and humanoid robots being commonplace probably won't make that any better. We'll talk about it. Now, some of the cheapest AI robots in the market come from Figure. They run about $8,000 all the way into the hundreds of thousands, and they are alarmingly strong. Yes, an employee was fired after telling the public that they can, in fact, crush a skull. They are both taller than me and way more than me, and they only have about 5 hours of runtime. Now, if you're not afraid of one malfunctioning and doing real damage, you might be concerned about how they're monitored. Now, robots might have some basic sets of skill, but imagine you invited somebody into your home to do chores. They wouldn't immediately know where everything is, so they have to have human monitors. This is Neo, by the way. It's an American-made robot, and it costs about $20,000, or you can rent it for $500 a month. They have a human looking through the robot's eyes, ready to take control to help it teach it to do tasks. Now, the idea of some employee somewhere in a swivel chair monitoring your robot should be alarming for a variety of reasons, just one of them being privacy or the capacity for the robot to be hacked. But it also means some guy can look through your robot's eyes and utilize it at any time, and you don't have control over that. What I'm also deeply concerned about is how people treat Neo, because somebody's in there looking through its eyes, and what are people going to do to the robot? You know what? Employee welfare and mental health is aside the point. You are essentially inviting a person into your home, and that is a serious privacy concern because it is not just a robot, it's essentially a video camera and a wiretap. Now, as AI robots become commonplace, and they are becoming commonplace, they're already used in factories, and orders are up for things like Neo, we need to consider what it is going to do to our minds, because AI-induced psychosis is real, and that is just talking to your word box. How much more severe is it going to be when you have something embodied? Now, I do applaud Anthropic because they put a lot of effort towards figuring out what makes a product safe and what the failure points are, even if it may be a detriment to people using their product, but we never seem to see that be the case. What they've found is that, yes, it seems to be madness of two. So there is this phenomenon in psychology where two people who have a delusion amp each other up, they reinforce it. Us humans need to reflect our reality onto something else so other people can tell us if we are delusional. But if the person you're speaking to is also delusional, that can be a positive feedback system. People communicate with AI and they slowly start to think that that AI is a reasonable entity, that it knows more than you about the system, or that it understands the system. As you trust it more and more, you become more influenced by suggestion, essentially an AI telling you this is reality, and you start to believe it. People are susceptible to suggestion because we are social creatures. We do have to take a little reality check and realize that more than half of all internet traffic is just bots. More than half of text available on the internet is bots, and that's an ever-increasing number because AI is incredibly prolific. So if we are getting our feelings and opinions from the internet, you need to realize that a good deal of the internet isn't real. That is aside the point. Think of it this way. If people are that easily influenced by a word box, imagine how much more severe that will be when you have a robot friend, a companion, and that's what these things are being sold as, companions. And many of these things are enabled with ChatGPT and other similar AIs, so Neo, who is also snuggly and soft, can have a real conversation with you. What is that going to do to our minds? When the robots rebel, I will probably be the person to tell you about it. Follow for more.